Health does not work that way. It's not a game of don'ts. Health is very much a game of do. Like you have to be active. You have to stick to some level of nutrition.
All right. I feel like I'm starting like a Peloton class or something. Welcome. To be honest, I have no idea what I'm going to do with these videos or if I'm going to turn it into a series and keep it consistent. I was just mainly looking for something that I could do that would be easy on me in terms of editing, but also get out relevant content, keep everyone updated on goals and what I'm working on, specifically physically. So I figured I could just record workouts and then cover at least the updates I have in terms of goals and what I'm doing, but also I think there's a lot of topics that come up on social, online that I don't know, I just love to talk about and hear everyone's input in the comments. So we're just going unscripted. I hope I will get better at these. We'll see. Getting comfortable in front of the camera is not something that I ever thought I would be doing with my life, but here we are. It's for you guys. So I guess talking through the workout today, figured I'd start up with a little 5-minute warm-up on the bike, get some blood pumping and the heart rate up, and then we're gonna go out in the garage. It's like 45 degrees or something, so getting warm is not just good habit, it's also so I don't immediately freeze and seize up out there. But we're gonna do legs, and this has been a long time coming. Without getting in too deep to the tragic history of my pursuit of weightlifting, and I do feel like of all the physical exercise that I've got into in different activities, from running to CrossFit style training to Olympic style training, like I definitely love weights, and I miss resistance training. Probably should have been doing it more when I was running, but alas, I was not as good as I should have been. So anyway, let me start a workout here. So the goal of the whole year, really, and I'll probably do another video specifically on this, but the goal is to get my body in shape enough so that I'm lifting injury-free, which has been a problem in the past, but also feeling good about my form, technique, and just generally feeling good. I have no aspirations to look a certain way, no aspirations to join the 3,000 pound club. I don't even, there's no way that can exist. But I just want to be healthy, and I miss weights. I miss the consistency that I had. And long story short, sorry, I was getting to this earlier. This is going to be rough. I hope you all bear with me. Long story short, 2022 or 2021 is when I first hurt my back. I was front squatting, and I was coming up out of the squat, heard something kind of pop, got to the top, racked it, and I just called it after that workout. I knew something was wrong, and I remember I got home, and it didn't hurt super bad, but then I went to sleep that night, and I think the inflammation just showed up. And to this day, I still don't know what happened, but that took me out of the weights game for a while, and I was so scared of hurting it again. And I actually started lifting again like a year later. I was so excited to get back into it that I started lifting, and the second I threw minimal weight on the bar, I started feeling my back again, and I think it just scared me to death. So long story short, that's actually why I took up running last year and trained running. I figured, yes, it's hard on the body, but I wouldn't be putting a ton of weight and pressure on my back. And I thought that the overall health benefits of running, I feel like you lean yourself out, and it works on a lot of stabilizers that most people probably don't work on. So I still have goals to stay in shape, keep doing cardio, specifically running, but this year is going to be focused on weights, not getting injured, and enjoying every second of it. So we're done here on the bike. I'll cut this, start it when we get into the garage, and first leg day of 2024, here we go. All right, welcome to my domain. There have been a lot of workouts in this garage, and many more to come. But really quick, people will probably laugh at me, but I don't care. I always use Olympic shoes to squat. It helps elevate my heel, feel like my form's so much better, and I just feel like my technique is improved significantly when I wear squat shoes. So pretty much always squat in squat shoes, unless I'm doing like a circuit or a CrossFit style workout. I'll throw on some like Metcons or something with a flatter sole, but I don't know, something about these. Granted, mine are duct taped. I got them in 2016, but they still do the trick. So on the workout today, we're keeping it extremely light. I'll warm up a little bit. I have this metal pipe here that I use to just kind of loosen up and get a few practice squats in. And then I'm just using the bar today, not adding any weight. This is my first time having a bar on my back in over, oh gosh, probably over a year and a half. I can go back and look, but I just want to make sure we're focused on form, keeping it super light, and I'm not here to get injured or hurt. We're just here to lift. If you're wondering how I can go back and look at when the last time I had a bar on my back was, that is because I write down every workout I have ever done, and I've done that since probably 2014. In high school when I started lifting, I just got into the habit of writing down every workout, every rep, and most of the time I'll throw on details of how I'm feeling. My workouts have been pretty short lately, but I have notebooks like this filled literally since 2014. So maybe I'll just have a video where I go through those and laugh at myself. I remember some of my earliest workouts were, I would say it was like a chest workout, but I would put like curls in, and I just clearly had no idea what I was doing, but I loved it, so that's all that matters, right? I do wish this garage was taller. It would make any of the Olympic lifts so much easier, but it'll probably be a while before I'm doing those again, so it's probably best. I guess a few things. I'm a very quad dominant squatter, and so in a lot of my leg workouts I'll incorporate some type of hamstring focused movement. I think today it's some Romanian deadlifts or stiff leg deadlifts, just to focus on hamstrings, because I definitely tend to prioritize quads. But I also like squatting deep. I know I'm a tall guy, but I feel like it's, I don't know, you feel it so much more. I do feel like I get a lot of power out of the bottom of the squat. So I always like to do ATG, but all right, I'm actually kind of nervous. Like I shouldn't be, but it's literally just a blank bar. But I've got front squats and back squats. We're gonna do 3 sets of 10 reps. This is, again, strictly to get my body back into squatting, squat form, having a load either on my back or racked in the front rack. And then after that, I think I have my kettlebell Romanian deadlifts that we'll do with this 45 right here. And then I think to end, we're just gonna be doing some lunges with that kettlebell. And again, all of it's light. I'm not trying to set any PRs here by any means, but I think I'll start off with back squats, and then I might need to move this up. Hold on. I'll start off with back squats and then do front after, but I'm gonna scoot these racks up a little bit. And for this workout, I'm not super worried about rest times or making sure I hit any rep at a specific cadence. Again, we're just trying to ease back into it. So if you came here to see Clarence Kennedy throwing around 450 pounds, not yet. Let me hit this first set. I don't know if I want to talk during these since they aren't very difficult, but I've got an interesting conversation, and it's weird because it's literally just me in my garage talking to my phone on a tripod. But I've just got some interesting things I've been thinking about, and want to get off my chest. It sounds like a confession. I'm not confessing anything, but oh, it's like it's like hugging an old friend, you know? There we go. Nice and light. Probably can talk during those, but gosh, that feels so good. I know it's weird to say, but I don't know, if you haven't done something you love for so long, and I still don't know how I went so long without lifting. Sorry, it's weird. There's probably some life lesson in here, but it's like the fear of not being able to do something you love
if you keep doing it and get injured, kept you from doing something you loved? I don't know, and this is all probably very dramatic, but it feels so good to be back. I do feel like my body is in a much better spot than it was leading up to my injury and then after my injury. I do feel like 2023, all that running was definitely a good thing. I think just having something else to keep me active was a huge help, both for my mental health, but physical health as well. And it's so underrated. I think everybody, it doesn't matter if it's lifting or running or cross-country skiing, as long as you've got something that keeps you healthy, I'm here for it. Again, on these sets, I'm just focused on feeling them out. 10 reps is probably a lot over both front and back squats, but since it's not a lot of weight, I'm not super worried about burning myself out or losing form. I want to get back into it. So, and each rep feels glorious. So, bringing up something that's been on my mind. Of course, right when I start the set. No, I'll finish this one up and then I'll bring it up. Be able to talk. Can't multitask for my life. My wife loves it. Oh, feels so good. I also miss like the calluses that you get, not just on your hands, but like on your back, like in the middle of your back and on your traps from the bar. I don't know, I just feel like I'm a different person. Gonna be honest, I lost count. I think that was 10. But again, it's not the biggest deal for this workout, but as we move forward, I'm excited to get back into specific programs. I'll probably start with a strength building program right off the bat, lower reps. And then we'll see from there. But I do have some ambitions with lifting that I'd love to get to by the end of the year and then keep going, but it's probably for another video. So anyway, what I've been thinking about is, as I was running all of last year and taking the time to train, which, my heavens, running takes so much time. Like, it's ridiculous. I've never been more grateful for cars. Like, running is the most inefficient thing ever. And I think part of that is, well, it's like, that's the challenge of it, right? Like it is slow and you're looking at your road or trail or track ahead, and it's like every step is only getting you like slightly closer to that finish line. But I can see how, if you're in love with running and that's your thing, like why that is such a powerful motivator and something you can fall in love with. Because I think about, I don't know, with weights, like you set a goal to hit a certain number on squat, and as you work your way up to that and see your reps at a specific weight that can get you to that like max PR, like that level of excitement and that chase is something that I think is in every hobby. And it's probably one of the most beautiful things about being human. I remember, I'm gonna try talking through a set. I remember I had a conversation with one of my good friends who is also a big lifter and just fitness junkie. And I remember we were talking, and it had been a while since either of us had done a workout, but we did a run and then a little circuit after. And I remember both of us were absolutely winded. Like, it was probably very embarrassing, but talking to him after, it was really cool to, I remember just asking him, I was like, man, it's crazy how fast you can lose it. Like, it kind of sucks. Like, if you don't stay in shape, if you don't keep that consistency, if you don't work out, if you don't run, maybe not every day, but enough times a week, if you don't eat right, like, it's crazy how fast you lose it. And his response was so cool, and this is why I love the guy. But he's like, yeah, that's what I love most about it. I was like, oh, that's so cool. But just the fact that you really do have to earn it. Like, health is not a passive reward. I think the frustrating nature of being human is that we're all dying. And that's kind of a morbid note, but like, if we just sit back and experience life and not do anything, like, we're all dying. And I wish this was scripted right about now, because I'm terrible off the cuff, but it's cool to think that you have to earn health. Like, there's no program out there that just says, don't do this, don't do that, and you're healthy. Like, don't eat these, you know, those ads that pop up online. It's like, avoid these 5 foods. And it's just a picture of a clip art banana or something for a 6-pack or something. Like, health does not work that way. It's not a game of don'ts. Health is very much a game of do. Like, you have to be active. You have to stick to some level of nutrition. And in talking with this friend, I approached it as like, man, that's kind of rough. Like, that sucks. And if you don't keep that level of consistency with exercise and diet and nutrition, you can see your health start to suffer. Like, you can literally notice it in how you're feeling. You can see it in your sleep, in your focus. And his approach was, I love that health is like that, because it's the chase, right? And I think we all have vehicles that help us get to health. And not that it's like a destination you can arrive at, but it is quite literally something we chase. Like, it's, no one can, I don't think anyone would say that dying is healthy, but we're all trying to be healthy until we die. Like, it's almost, it's very heady to think about it like that. But I loved his attitude of, I like the chase. And I think if you approach health with that mindset, it becomes a lot easier. And I think the struggles that hold people back from healthy habits would change a lot if the perspective shifted. And granted, I know every situation's different and no judgment across the board, but I think that would be a very positive shift in the way that we talk about being healthy. Let me hit this next set. We're on front squats now, and after we'll keep going. So I think front squats, I'm most worried because, well, it already looks like I've lost my mobility, so I won't keep all the fingers on. I'll keep pinkies off, and then try and get elbows up as much as I can. But wow, it's crazy how much just in the flexion of my arms, crazy how fast you lose it. I guess case in point right here. I'm a prime example. Nice. No, still, I mean, it's definitely been a while. I can feel the tightness. I'm definitely more rigid on those. So we'll have to work mobility with the trusty bar here. But I'm excited to get front squats back. I think from a general, how do I put that? I think I just like front squats better. I like the challenge of the front rack, and you don't have I don't know, I feel like you can get away with a lot of crutches in a back squat, but the front squat will put a magnifying glass over some of your weaknesses. If you don't have the core strength to keep it up, you'll cave coming up with the weight. Like, it definitely challenges you more in the back squat, and I think I like that. But I also got hurt front squatting, and it took me out of lifting for the past 2 years, so mixed feelings. But anyway, back to, these are all over the place. Back to, I guess, the conversation about health and it being a pursuit. I wanted to bring that up and preface it that one thing I love is the vast selection we have of activities that can keep us healthy. And I think there's a slew, I mean, hundreds, thousands of different things that you can engage in that will promote physical health, mental health, and it becomes part of you. I think we can attach ourselves to something like lifting or running or swimming or triathlons or jiu-jitsu. We can attach ourselves to these things, and they become a vehicle to get us healthy and get us active, but they also give us a sense of community. Like, there's other like-minded individuals, maybe not even like-minded, completely different individuals that participate, that you now belong to this community. And I think it is such a beautiful thing to see that happen. I think specifically with social media, you see specific niches take off, like climbing. I feel like in the past 5-6 years has gotten huge, and I would attribute a large part of that to social media and Alex Honnold, and it's just cool to see people who may have never gotten into climbing and never achieved the level of health that they have because of this new opportunity and something that they found and love. And I think it's beautiful. And if you're, and I'm gonna get tired holding the front rack like this, but if you're on the fence, or maybe not even on the fence, just watching content about something that really interests you, like go for it. Like if you're watching boxing videos and all you can think about is boxing, like go find a local gym, or even just train at home. I think it's cool that we have it in us to engage in these activities and find a new part of ourselves because of it. It's beautiful. I'm getting existential here. I apologize. All right, another set. Man, I can already feel my core strength being challenged, and this is just the bar, so got a lot of work to do this year, but those reps, they feel so good. I miss the feeling of resistance training, like having weight that you're moving. There's something about it. So we got one more set of front squats, and then we'll move on to the hamstring focused RDLs. I think another element that comes up with an individual's pursuit of health is confidence. And that's the one that really gets me. To expound more on gets me, I think it breaks my heart a little bit that, for instance, like to use the climbing example, someone scrolling on social media and the reason that they don't get into climbing is a lack of confidence in themselves, that not that they can't do it, but that they don't feel like they have it in them to even try. And I think I can totally understand that. It takes a level of confidence to put yourself out there. And we all know people who have found what they're good at and they stick to that, and they'll only invite you to do that activity and nothing else because they know they're good at that. And so there's a level of like confidence in yourself and humility to take on a challenge. It's like a weird, those almost seem contradictory, that like you have to be confident, but you have to be humble to engage in these new activities. But I think that's such a sound principle of trying something new, or even excelling at something that you're already maybe good at or great at. Like I don't think any professional athlete at their top level lacks the confidence in themselves to know that they can go out and perform. And I know that's probably something that everyone struggles with, but they achieve that level of confidence and they practice that over and over again with every game or every competition. And then the level of humility it takes to be coachable and to have trainers and people who teach you new drills and skills, like the ability that it takes to say, yeah, I know what I'm doing, I'm the top of the game, but there's still more to learn. And I think that is a very dangerous combo for anyone. If you're looking to start something new, I think it can be incredibly exciting to get sucked into a new healthy hobby. And then for someone who is participating in something and wanting to achieve great things, that level of confidence and humility allows them to progress at a level that not everyone can. And that's definitely something that I struggle with. I think both on the confidence side and the humility side, I should probably seek more coaching. I'm literally working out in a garage with nobody judging my form or critiquing how I'm doing things. I'm sure my form looks absolutely horrific right now, especially on these front squats. but that, and then the confidence to get back into something. And I just mentioned like the fear I had getting into weights again last year, and then, or sorry, the year before, and feeling like I hurt something again. And I think there's a balance there if there's injury behind that context, but it's definitely a real challenge. But again, it's all part of the beautiful the beautiful challenge of health, right? Oh, they're feeling good. Caved a little bit on that one. There we go. Nice. All right. That was the last set of front squats. I'm going to shift all this back. It's funny that I'm talking about, I guess, this balance of confidence and humility, because posting this very video will challenge both of those. Maybe it will challenge the humility side and making me more humble, but at least the confidence side, it's definitely scary to put yourself out there. And I've literally just been talking at a camera for, where are we at? 43 minutes. Like, that's nuts. But I've gotten hooked on this, and I love the opportunity available to put yourself out there and get into this new realm of content creation. And I can't be a hypocrite. So I'm going for this, and I hope if you're watching this that there's something that's in your feed. I just got my wife and I really into golf. Another thing that's very humbling. And now she makes fun of me all the time. She's like, everything in your feed is golf videos. I'm like, just you wait, it's gonna be yours too. Soon enough, now all she gets is golf videos, and she sends me videos about swinging drills and technique and highlights from the PGA Tour, right? But if there's something in your feed that you're just in love with, like you want to try it, go for it. I'd hope that everyone can take the excitement of that new thing and not let it be overpowered by the fear of failing at it or being terrible at it at first. That's totally, like, everybody sucks when they first start. But also losing the pride, dropping the ego. Like, I couldn't even run a half a mile straight when I started running last year, and then did a marathon, gave my best shot at a 50 miler. Like, the progress you can see right off the bat is incredible. And not that I've done anything incredible. I take that back. I think everybody does incredible things. It just comes down to, are you willing to try? Speaking of incredible things, RDLs. The goal of these is to keep your legs pretty much straight, and you're using a lot of your lower back to carry the weight, but you want the stretch on the back of your legs, right in the hamstrings, and that's why I do these, specifically because they're hamstring focused, and I need all the help I can get, because again, I'm such a quad dominant squatter that whenever I do legs, and squats are normally my main movement, that I can tell my quads are overpowering my hamstrings a lot. So maybe I'll switch it up sometimes and do hamstring focused work before the squats, but we've got a whole year to try that out. So anyway, we're gonna do 3 sets of 10 of these and just at a pretty slow cadence. And you just wanna feel the stretch. I already can. I feel like I'm gonna be sore for absolutely nothing. Technically, this is my first weighted workout of 2024. Because I've done a lot of body weight exercises leading up to this, just to kind of get my body ready for weight. So this is technically my first workout with a bar and weights, and gosh, does it feel good. All right. I wish I could have like questions come up that I could answer. That would maybe help the rambling, but I guess I'll share a little bit about running because, again, my love for exercise, the vehicle that I'd prefer to be healthy is resistance training, and seeing results that way and working out that way. But when I was getting into running, I mean, I've always been interested. I did track in high school. I was, talk about a different person. I was 120 pounds and I was terrible. But I've had experience running, and I love the feeling of when you're in shape, the power that you have over your legs, I think is honestly incredible. And some of these ultra runners, down to sprinters, the ability that they have to propel themselves that fast or that long is incredible. And I think I got sucked into that, and I'd always had on my bucket list marathon, and the Aruba run, which if you haven't seen, I tried to run around a country off the coast of South America. It's 50 miles around, and it was an incredible experience, and literally broke me in so many ways. But I really got into this love of like the mental challenge of, it's such a simple movement, running is, and granted it can be technical, especially at elite levels, but I think most people would agree that like most sports have more technique than running does. And oh man, I'm starting controversial debates. That's not what I'm trying to do. I'm saying that running it doesn't require any equipment. It's something that humans have been doing since the dawn of time, and kind of ingrained in us like since elementary school, right? We're all running around chasing our crush, chasing the ball, you know? And so there's this almost like fundamental human piece of like, you can run, but how far or how fast? And that challenge of, it becomes mental. Like, you know, you can move your legs that much. You know, you can just keep taking one step in front of the other, but how long can you do that? And I think I fell in love with that last year. And we're gonna keep, my wife and I talk about it, we're gonna keep doing races. We'll probably try and do a half or a full every year. And I'm not going for time or anything, but I do love the challenge of running, and I think it helps you mentally immensely, and it's incredibly challenging. But getting into that was very difficult. And like I mentioned, there's this road by our house that when I first started running, that was the training grounds. And holy cow, last year I probably ran that same road. I just run back and forth hundreds of times. And it was a mile long. And yeah, I ran many hundreds of miles last year, so that's not false news. But anyway, first starting was very humbling because we live at 6,000 feet elevation, and running that first day literally killed me. Like, it was so embarrassing. And it was even like downhill for the first part. And I didn't have my pace right. I was probably going a little fast. So I couldn't even make it a half mile. And I was not in good shape. Again, I hadn't lifted or really done anything. And so it was humbling to see, like, oh wow, I have lost my health. And not that I was, in the hospital or anything, but like I lost the level of health that I felt comfortable with and being able to be active. And it was very humbling and honestly challenging to have that. And I was like, holy cow, if I can't run a half mile, how am I going to run 52 half miles straight, like for the marathon? Or how am I going to run around Aruba? And that was such a challenging mindset of, okay, I'm just starting, I recognize that, and everyone struggles when they first start. We're all learning, but seeing the end product and then where you are when you first start can be super difficult. And I applaud anyone and would support everyone who is in that and overcomes that, because that's success to me, is starting something and seeing it through so that you're challenging yourself and you're seeing progress. Like that's success, and it's beautiful. And throughout this year, as I'm working up to throwing plates on the bar and squatting and getting back into more dynamic movements, it's going to be equally as frustrating knowing, like, wow, I hit 275 on the bench 2.5 years ago, and I can't even get like 195 up, like there's an element of, oh wow, look at where I want to be, where I am now. That distance is a lot, but also I know I've done this. How did I lose so much? It's like you're in the middle of your two peaks in a valley, but hopefully the trajectory keeps going up. I hope that makes sense. But that's the goal this year, and I'm excited to have that and be challenged, because health is always a challenge. I think at its very nature, it's defying all of our natural tendency to decline, to be unhealthy. But that's the beauty of it. And I think falling in love with an activity that you can get over the fear of being bad at and continuing to participate in it and be healthy, that's the name of the game. And that's what I love to do, and I love hearing people's stories about it. So if you want, please drop down in the comments, like, what is your passion right now? Like, what is your healthy interest? What do you love doing that helps you be healthy?
And it doesn't even have to be something as active as running marathons. Like it can be pickleball, it can be walking with your family. Like it doesn't have to be anything crazy, but health is absolutely essential, and I love the challenge of it. So we'll keep going after it one by one. I'm gonna close this out, and then I've got some sets of lunges to do that I will do, and actually I'll record myself doing them and speed them up. But anyway, be healthy.